Hey guys, so it's your Darren bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be showing you guys 5 cards that are under $10 that I believe have the potential to skyrocket, whether it's next season or, this off season or whatever it is. But before we get into that, I do want to say, as you guys know, I have my Sports Card Invest membership program where I basically give out weekly reports every single Monday to my yearly and monthly members of 10 sports cards I believe will go up, some sports cards I believe will go down, and then 3 long-term underground NBA investments. Now, if you do want the premium yearly membership, you do get it on Sunday, so 1 day earlier. If you guys do want to use code YouTube, go ahead and do so. That will get you 10% off the yearly memberships. But yeah, basically we've been making more money than ever, even though, the market has not been quite as hot. Our research, it takes more time, not gonna lie, to find those cards that are really gonna spike in value, but we've been doing a quite good job. Andre Iguodala, we were able to catch his Topps Chromes, right before he had that big game, and we've been able to make a lot of money off that. A lot of my members have made a lot of money off that. We are buying them for around 50 cents per, and currently they're up to nearly $6 to $8 per. So I know, that was more so like a low-hanging fruit investment. There was not, some crazy increase, but in terms of percentage, we made a lot of money off that. If you bought enough, stock on that. But before we get into, without further ado, we're gonna hop right into this video. So the first guy we have right here is Brandon Clarke's Optic rookie cards. Brandon Clarke, obviously, he played very well in the bubble, and his prisms for some reason have gone up quite a lot. They're around 10 to 15 bucks. Yet his optics are sitting at just $1 to $2. I think this is a great play considering the price of his prisms and how well he played in the bubble. When the Grizzlies needed him the most, he played the best, which is definitely a great sign because, obviously when the Grizzlies have, Ja Morant, hopefully Jaren Jackson Jr., recovers recovers as fast as he can. But, regardless, I honestly think when Jaren Jackson Jr. is injured next season, and he's sitting out, Brandon Clarke will have an even bigger role with the team. So, you can definitely see a lot of Ja Morant and Brandon Clarke on the floor. And, obviously being a big man who can shoot, that's very valuable these days. I really think this kid has a bright future. Obviously there's only so many players that will make it out to be like, this Chris Bosh type. But I really think Brandon Clarke could be, what Chris Bosh was to the Miami Heat. Obviously I'm not saying the Grizzlies are going to be as successful. But, developing alongside another young talent like Ja Morant is very helpful. And especially if they can develop together, I think this is a quite good buy, considering you can get them for literally $1 to $2. I've seen lots of these, like a 10-card lot on Facebook for like $15. I think those are very good buys. If we look at his Prism rookie, they're a lot more expensive. So I think this is a very good buy, a value buy, honestly, because the Prism, there's no reason why the Prism should be, 12 times the price of an Optic. That's usually not how it is. So I definitely think this is a very good buy right here. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next guy. This one, I'm not going to lie, is a little bit more of a gamble. I would definitely say, it's a very smart play. Kevin Huerter is definitely, what I look for in a young star is really, how they're developing, how they're improving. And, Kevin Huerter took a big jump from his rookie season, which was 2 years ago, to his sophomore season, which was this year. He had a very good season compared to his rookie year. He improved a lot, obviously developing alongside Trae Young and John Collins is, very beneficial for him. And I definitely think, he could be a big part of the Atlanta Hawks' future. He showed a lot of potential. We have guys like John Collins, who's having a tough time staying healthy. And obviously, if the opportunity does come for Kevin Huerter, I think he'll be ready and he could have a breakout season, when the team needs him. And especially with the Hawks getting more media attention now, that they have Trae Young, definitely if they have some, ESPN games, TNT games, that can really, bring a lot of eyes to a young player like Kevin Huerter, and that's what could cause the prices to rise. So I definitely think he's a good play for $2 to $3. I definitely think it is a little bit of a gamble. He may never get really the opportunity I hope he gets, but, I really think he has a talent and he can showcase it when he gets an opportunity. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, which is Marvin Bagley. I actually think his optic is a little better of a buy at the moment for the price because his prisms have gone up quite a lot, yet his optics are lagging behind a little bit. But I think Marvin Bagley is, he's kind of slept on. He's really forgotten about because he was injured for a good percentage of last season. And obviously, alongside these other players I mentioned, Marvin Bagley is De'Aaron Fox to develop with. And the Kings, they started to show a little bit of potential during the bubble, before the playoffs. I definitely think, Marvin Bagley, he's going to have to find his role within the team. I think at the moment, it's a little bit scattered. I think De'Aaron Fox is, obviously taking the big stardom, but I think Marvin Bagley is kind of that 1-2 punch, especially in like the pick and roll. He's a good shooter as well. So I definitely think, he was not the number 2 pick for no reason. He's basically a number 2 pick who has just got injured and hasn't been able to really play at his potential as of yet. But I think next season we could see a big jump in Marvin Bagley's game, hopefully. So I'm definitely stacking up on a little bit of his cards. I think they're a solid buy for under $10. I definitely think, even if you can go up to his optic holo, that might be a good buy. But literally, you can get these for $2 to $3. So I definitely think that's a very good buy. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick. This one may surprise you guys a little bit. Blake Griffin's 2012 Prism. So Blake Griffin, obviously, he has not really been on anyone's radar. He's a little bit of a sleeper because he does play for the Pistons, right? So the Pistons hardly get any media attention. Nobody really watches Pistons games. Blake Griffin has actually played quite solid. He averaged around 15 points a game this year, but got hardly any attention. And one couple of reasons I really like Blake is, he's one trade away from these prices going up a lot. If he gets traded, I believe he will get traded very soon. Whether it's this offseason or next offseason, I believe he will leave the Pistons. The Pistons obviously, have been looking to move Blake Griffin. And if Blake Griffin does end up going to, a big market team like the New York Knicks, the Golden State Warriors, the Lakers, the Clippers, whatever it is, right? His card prices will really increase because he has the game, he has the personality, such as, he's obviously out there, in the world. It's not like people are going to forget about him when he's retired even because he's in a bunch of commercials. He's just really out there. I think his name, is quite well known, and his cards could have, he's fun to watch. He's a great dunker, dunk contest champion for jumping over the car. I think there's still something there. I think really he just needs a place where he can shine and try to win a championship. I really hope he can go to a championship team or a big market team, because Detroit is not the place to get any attention. And I believe when he does leave Detroit, his cards will really start to go up, because he will be remembered. He's really forgotten about right now because he's on the Pistons. But if he's on the Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, Knicks, even Houston, whatever it is, he can really get a lot of attention. And those are his 5 top destinations. Houston is definitely a team that I can really see picking up Blake Griffin. And that could really increase his prices quite a lot. So that's why I'm going with Blake. A little bit of a gamble, but I think it could really pay off. It's worth the risk-reward ratio in my opinion. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our last pick, which is Lauri Markkanen. So as you guys saw recently, the Bulls hired Billy Donovan. Now, Billy Donovan has had a very successful track record of, developing guys like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and now that the Bulls finally have a coach that can develop young talent, I think Lauri Markkanen's, really going to have a very good season next year. He certainly has the talent. He has the game. He just hasn't had the opportunity. He hasn't had the right coach to develop him. And I think Billy Donovan is that guy. I really think he is. And for his prices, there's not much to lose. I do not see, his prices going much lower than they are currently. So I definitely think there's a very good buy right here with Lauri Markkanen. Obviously it is a little bit of a gamble. I really hope he stays with the Bulls because I think finally, with Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, Kobe White, the Bulls can really do some damage in the East. now that they have a good coach. They have the talent. The East is a little bit more wide open than the West. It's a lot easier to make the playoffs in the East than it is in the West. So that's why I really think that, the Bulls could be a sleeper team that pops up and does something good with a good coach finally and the talent they have. So Lauri Markkanen is the final guy I'm buying, but yeah, well, without further ado, we're going to end the video right there. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Once again, if you guys did want to sign up for the membership group, go ahead, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. Use code YouTube to get you 10% off. But other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.